Cluster keychains is what I'm making today, or bag charm. This is 20 gauge metal that you can use to loop around, or I have these other little things that you can use that already have a loop on one end, and then you use your tool that I'll show you here in a minute and it loops on the other end. And that's how we're going to get our beads to go on. You can find all these supplies either at Hobby Lobby, Amazon, and at Walmart. These pieces of wire that have loops do come in different sizes, so make sure that you are picking one that's going to work best for you. You can also get some that have a pin at the bottom, but sometimes the beads on those just kind of fall through. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to your size beads that you're using and how big your pin bottom is and or loop. These are small little beads that I got from Hobby Lobby that I use to help keep my charms on the metal piece that has the loop on it. We do not want them slipping or falling or coming off once we make these. I'm just placing a small bead onto here so that, again, this does not fall. I'm going to take my tiny little pliers, hold on to that loop, take my charm that I'm going to use, place this down, and then what I'm going to do is place another bead down. Now the next tool that I'm going to use is called a 3-in-1 tool. It's actually makes life so much easier. You are just going to place this metal inside of there. There's a little hole at the top of this and you just crunch it down. Once you do that, it makes a loop, which then makes it to where your charm is able to stay on. Once you get done, you're just going to loosen it from your tool. You're going to take your pliers and close down that little bit of section right there so that nothing comes off. And then you're also going to just want to straighten it out. These pliers that I'm using are actually my favorite pliers. I did get them from Hobby Lobby. They are a smaller set of pliers, and that's why I like them. The needle nose, and they're small. I actually have two sets of them, but this is exactly how I make all of my charms, and I'm going to repeat the process. Here I'm just showing you one of the charms I've already made. You're just going to choose your bead. What's fun is you get to be creative with these and choose whatever beads that you want to use on your charms, and it's pretty fun. I noticed when I was looking for how to make these, I didn't find very many videos on how to actually make these keychains. I mean, you can find pictures all over Pinterest and Lemonade, but definitely not any videos on how to make them. So now I'm going to show you how to use this wire. So this is the 20 gauge wire I was telling you about. You are going to need wire cutters, which is what this tool is right here. I just cut a little piece off and close it back up. Once I grab that, I'm going to need to grab my loop turner again. I did get this wire from Hobby Lobby. Again, you can get it off Amazon and at Walmart and probably Michael's too. I just straighten it back out with my needle nose pliers right here because you want it to be as straight as possible when you do this so that your beads aren't wonky on the metal. You do have to, of course, create your first loop with the same tool that we did last time so that you have your little loop right there. So that's why I think the other ones are just a little bit easier, more convenient, but price wise, getting this wire is actually going to be cheaper in the long run because you can make a lot more charms with the wire than you can buying bags that already have the loop at the end. You do have to close your loop again just to make sure that nothing falls off of your wire. And if you guys have any questions during this process, please comment below and I will get back to you. Again, I'm just going to grab it with my needle nose pliers. I'm going to go ahead and pick a bead. I'm going to place the bead on the wire, and then I'm going to pick my charm that I want to use and my beads. Again, you can get as creative as you want with this and you can use whatever bead you want. You just want to make sure that whatever bead you're using cannot go over that loop on your wire. That's going to be the only thing. These right here, I have gotten off of the TikTok shop. I got it from KC Supply, actually off of TikTok, but you can also get some cute ones off of Shein and Temu also, I've noticed. So if you're just wondering where I'm getting my beads from, that is where I get them from. And I can try and see if she has a website. If she does, I'll totally link that in, or maybe even her TikTok page. These charm keychains do take a lot of time depending on whether you want to make one or two lines of them, because with your chain that you're going to connect these to, you can do just one or you can do two, which I've done two most times, but I think in this video I show you guys how to do one. Look how cute this one is. Absolutely love it. So I just put these in little jars or little bowls that I have. I actually get them from Hobby Lobby during their little sales that are 40% off. So I pay like $3 for these bowls. You might hear things like bead soup. I make my bead soup in these bowls. So right here again, I'm just going ahead with that same metal. I'm going to put that loop on there, grab my tweezers, and do the exact same thing all over again, but with different charms. The charms are the cutest part and the funnest part, I think. I do have glass beads, I have clay beads, I have silicone beads. I work with all different ones and different little charm beads that we have throughout here. I just have a lot of fun making them. I just turn on my show, I sit down and I grab my little tray and I just start making these, and then I add them to my chain as I go. So with this one, I'm just kind of doing a purple one. It just kind of depends on what kind of theme you're going with. You can pick your own theme every time you do this. I've done Western theme, I've done a bow theme, I've done it by color, just whatever it is that your little heart desires or that your customer is looking for, you can absolutely make them however you want. These are a lot of fun. Like I've said, they're very cute. These beads, like I said, I will try and tag them, but if not, definitely look on Shein and Temu, see what you can find. But a lot of times you can even find some really cute ones at Hobby Lobby when they're 50% off. I use all different kind of beads. This Care Bear bead is absolutely freaking adorable. I love it. So, but I just got all different ones. I actually have bead boxes that are color coordinated. So I have a purple one, pink one, white, black, green, brown, purple, all the different colors, just so that I can just pick out my different beads as I'm going to make things easy. So I'm just showing you guys here what I've done in the different kind of variations I've chose to do with the different beads. You can use, like I said, any kind of beads. So right here, I'm just showing you the tools. This is the wire cutter tool. You'll need one pair of those. This one right here is your looper tool. It just loops the bottom of it. It's like 25 bucks at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you can get it off of Amazon too. I'm just showing you the hole right here that the metal goes through. It took me a little bit to find that actually. I could not believe how long it took me to find that, but it makes it very convenient. These are the small needle nose pliers that you're also going to need. And if you want, you can also get what's called a 3-in-1 tool, and you can also use that to loop the metal. It just takes longer to do and it's more annoying to have to do. So I don't suggest getting one of those. This right here is the chain that I use to connect all the charms that we just made to this chain. So this is actually what I'm going to use to make the actual keychain. So I'm just going to clip it off right here. You could, if you wanted to, take something and just unloop it, but I just always cut it. It makes it easier for me. You can measure it out if you want to. I eyeball mine, to be honest, and know exactly about how long I want it. But I'm going to show you here how I start to connect all of these. And you're going to connect them by using jump rings. So I get my jump rings from all over, but you're going to need different size jump rings. I like to use like the medium size, and this ring right here is one that helps me open my jump rings to place them on my metal chain. So you can see that I'm just choosing my jump rings. I grab a couple out of here after I put my ring on my pointer finger. Makes it easier for me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it with my pliers. I'm going to use my ring and I'm just going to pop it open. I do kind of get out of frame right here, but I do show you guys this a couple of times. So thankfully I get back into frame, but I do show you guys a couple of times so that you can kind of see how it's closed, and then you're going to see me open it right there. So now that I've got it open, I'm just going to grab one of my charms, and one of those loops that's on the end is what I'm going to connect it to. I'm then going to connect it to my chain, which I'm going to connect it to the very bottom chain, because what I'm doing is grabbing my biggest charm to put at the bottom, and then I'm going to use that same thing to close that loop right there so that I make sure my jump ring is completely closed and it's not going to open up and this charm won't fall off. This ring is a game changer because it does help me close my jump rings the correct way. versus trying to just do it with my needle nose pliers and hoping that it closes all the way and that I don't lose my charms coming off of here, because I do sell these and I put them on my website. So I really don't want my customers losing those. That would not be a good idea. So you're just going to go ahead and continue doing this up the chain. I make them pretty close together, so you can see that I'm just going to grab my chain. I'm going to close it. Fortunately, I'm so sorry guys, I keep going out of frame with this. I think I finally fix it, but I'm going up maybe two of these little notches on the chain, and I am placing them up my chain, and I'm going to go do a couple of these, and then I'm going to switch over to charms. Charms are your best friends when it comes to these junk keychains or cluster keychains, whatever you want to call them. They just kind of put that added cuteness to it and makes them just stand out and pop a little bit more than just making your own charms like these. I will show you here in just a minute once I get these out. I'm just kind of seeing which ones I want to use for this keychain and what it's looking. I kind of go with a purple theme is what I'm going with. This actually turns out super cute and I'm really happy with the way that it turns out and how cute it is, but I kind of just build them as I go. If I don't like something, I take it back off and I re-put it down, but I lay them down like this every time so I can see the charms together, and then I'll also pick them up and look at them as they're laying down and falling and making sure that they're laying correctly and that they look good and that I don't have too many of my big charms overloading my smaller charms, because you want to be able to see all of them, but at the same time I do know that the point in these is to just have mini on there and make them look cute. So you're just going to see as I go through and pick which charms I'm using and which ones I decide to add on to here. I absolutely, like I said, love making these. They're super easy. I couldn't find any videos. So again, if you guys do have any questions, I mean, really feel free to ask. I will try to link down what I'm using. The chain that I'm using, I do not remember what size it was, to be honest, and I threw away the piece that it came with. So I tried to look to see what size this chain was, but unfortunately, I have no clue. So I can try and see if I can figure it out. If I do, I'll put that in there. So this is just me adding another charm to this right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and let this go for a minute so that you guys can see how I'm adding these on and how cute it becomes as we go. So unfortunately, my phone died in the middle of me showing you guys how to make this. So I know the view has changed a little bit, but I'm still just doing the exact same thing, adding all of my charms to this keychain and just going up the chain and just placing them on as I go. So I'm really hoping that you guys can still see this well. I tried to see if I could fix it. Unfortunately, it's just not working for me. So I'm really sorry, guys. But for real, you're just going to go through here and you're going to choose different charms and different, whatever it is that you want to choose. And you're going to make it whatever you want to make it when everything's said and done. You can see how I pick it up and I look at it and I lay it down and I look at it just to make sure that it looks good and it's following the vibe that I want it to do. Okay, so now that I've finished, I've just added a little small keychain like jump ring, and I'm going to add the big keychain part. Now, if you wanted to be able to make two sides of these, meaning like this one's just the one side, you can go ahead and bend the chain and bring it down the other side, and it would make a bigger junk keychain, and then you could do two sides of it. This is just one. It's super cute. It turned out really cute. If you guys have any questions though, please comment down below. If you have not done so, please give my page a subscribe and a follow. Let me know that you've made it all the way to the end of the video. Again, like I said, these turn out super cute. You can just pick and choose what you want to do. I love the charms. They're super fun to make. It's really relaxing. And like I said, this is just the one, but you could flip it in half and make two if you wanted. Okay, thanks. Bye.